Hi everyone and welcome to the Mathsman YouTube channel. In this video today I'm going to be showing you how to solve algebra equations. At the beginning of the video we're just going to be looking at exactly what is an equation and what does that word mean. And then we're going to look at one-step equations and how to solve them. And then later in the video we're going to move on to solving two-step algebra equations. Now this video is actually the second video that I've made in an algebra series. If you'd like to check out the first video and all the other videos that I've made in my algebra series, then what I'll do is I will put the link to that playlist in the description below. So on the board here, I have an example of a one-step algebra equation. But what does that word equation actually mean? So every algebra equation has the equals sign. And with algebra, both sides of the equal sign must be the same. So we have 13 on this side of the equation, and on this side of the equation we have y plus 9. Now, because all equations have to be balanced on each side and they have to be the same, we know the answer on this side of the equation is 13, so that must mean y plus 9, when you add them together, also makes 13. And hopefully you would have seen the answer straight away and thought, well, y must be 4, because now that would balance this equation, wouldn't it? We'd have 13 on this side and we'd have 4 plus 9 on this side, which also makes 13. So on the board in front of me, I have two more examples of one-step equations. Okay, we have x take away 12 equals 17, and we have 42 equals 11 plus x. Now what's strange and what might look a little funny at first with equations is that sometimes we have the answer coming first. So on this one here, can you see how it says the number and then equals? Okay, we're used to seeing the equals sign come at the end, and with algebra that doesn't always happen. Okay, but remember what that equals sign, it means that we have 42 on this side, and whatever this is must also make 42. So let's start with this one. So we have 17 on one side of the equation, so x take away 12 must also make 17. Now if I use my inverse knowledge, all I have to do is just add 12 and 17 together, and that would help me to find that x is actually 29. And one good thing to do once you think you've found the answer of an equation and you've solved it is then to check it. Don't just assume that you've always got the right answer. So 29 take away 12 equals 17. Is that right? Yes, it is. So I've solved that equation. So let's take a look at this one where we have the number first. So we have 42 equals 11 plus x. So we've got 42 on this side of the equation. So this side of the equation must also equal 42. So we've got 11 plus x. Well, how about if I take away 11 from 42? That would help me find my answer. So that must mean x is 31. And again, I'll check it to make sure I've done it right. So I've got 42 here. Does this also make 42? 11 plus 31? Yes, that makes 42. So I've solved that equation too. So these are the last two examples of one-step equations that we're going to do before moving on to two-step equations. So far in the first two examples, we've just looked at when equations add and subtract. But in algebra, okay, they can also multiply. Now, the one rule that we have in algebra is if you see a number next to a letter, then it means that they are multiplied together. So here 3 times y makes 21. So the y, let's just call it a mystery number. So 3 multiplied by a mystery number makes 21. Now because I know my times tables, I know that y must be 7 because 3 times 7 makes 21. Here's another example. So I've got 4x and they're next to each other. So that must mean they're multiplying together, makes 12. So again, because I know my times tables, x must be 3 because 4 times 3 makes 12. So x must be 3. So in the final part of this video, we're going to be looking at two examples of two-step equations. Now, two-step equations basically just means that there's two calculations to do before you get the final answer. So this is the first example, this is the second example. So we've got 5s take away 2 equals 28. Okay, so I'm going to have to work backwards here to work out this answer. So I've got take away 2, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to 28, okay, which makes 30. So that must mean these two numbers together must make 30, okay, because 2 was taken away. So 5s, so 5 multiplied by s, 5 multiplied by a mystery number. What mystery number multiplied by 5 makes 30? So that must be 6. S must be 6 because 5 times 6 equals 30. Take away 2 equals 28. So S equals 6. And in this final example, I've got 45 take away 6x equals 3. Okay, so again, I'm going to work backwards, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, 45 take away a number equals 3. So I'm going to take 3 away from 45, so that must mean 7x makes 42. So 7 multiplied by a number makes 42. 7 multiplied by a mystery number makes, so x again must be 6, because 7 times 6 makes 42. And now let's test it. So 45 take away 42 equals 3. So again, x equals 6. Thanks again for watching this video. If you did find that useful, then don't forget to hit the like button down below. And if any part of this was confusing for you, or you've maybe thought that the first one-step equations was really easy, but the two-step equations were really hard, then comment down below and let me know how you feel.